Hey, it's Christine Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another reaction video. Guys, like the video on your way in. Let's get straight into it.
Man or woman, who has a harder life?
Woman.
Women have a
How is this even a question? And how can they be so ignorant as to give that answer?
harder life?
Yeah.
Woman, yeah.
Woman.
Why?
Because we have to deal with inequality for a long time and currently do so as well.
What do men have that women don't?
Basic human rights.
Which right do?
Women don't have human rights, apparently.
For instance,
Payments.
and you guys have free, I'm not gonna say what it is, but we don't have like the same access, for instance, to birth control. Like our
Men have access to birth control?
No, Viagra. For instance, your medical plan covers that, and my medical plan doesn't cover birth
Viagra is a human right, guys.
control.
A woman who disguised herself as a man to find out how it is to live as a man committed due to the psychological scars of how difficult life was as a man. Nora Vincent, the author of Self-Made Man, has died by assistance. She was a radical feminist who believed men lived on easy mode and tried to prove it by disguising herself as a man for 2 years. Instead, what she found out is that men actually have it very hard and wrote a book about her experience. In fact, the experience was so bad that she had to stop after 18 months because she was starting to hate women due to how bad the women treated her when she believed she was a man.
Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better. They need our sympathy, they need our love, and they need each other more than anything else. They need to be together.
Do you think women understand what it's like to be a man?
Not at all. No clue. No idea.
Did you like being a woman before, Ned?
I did, but I like it more now because I think it's more of a privilege.
Being a man is much tougher than a woman would ever expect. We face rejection, indifference, and unwarranted hostility far more than any woman could even imagine.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And the fact that women don't see this is absolutely heartbreaking. And I think a story like this really should rock people to the core to realize just how much men are suffering. I know for a fact that if I was to go on the street right now and ask people who do you think has it harder, men or women, most people would say women. And I think we need to change that general consensus because it's completely wrong. And it's absolutely no coincidence that especially here in the UK, men under the age of 40, the leading cause of death for men under the age of 40 here in the UK, well, it is self-deletion, whatever you want to say for YouTube purposes. It's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. It's disgusting. We need to talk about it. We need to address it. We need to get women off of the pedestal of self-entitlement and complete ignorance to the existence of the lives of most men. It's not pretty. It's definitely not easy mode. It's not plain sailing. In fact, it's way harder than we could ever imagine. And without men, society falls apart. We need men. And unfortunately, our society is tailored against almost the extinction of men.
I can believe that the interview in her book was more impactful with men than with women. Men responded favorably to her showing cause and effect about gender beliefs and behaviors and were receptive to her conclusions on the emotional level because of a common ground of evidentiary findings and logic-based thinking. Women, being more emotion-led, were more likely to discard evidence and logic and stick to their feelings, no matter whether the feelings proved justified or unjustified based on the evidence that Nora lived through and logically presented to them. The lessons she learned broke her as both a woman and a person, and is a testament to how much of women's empowerment is actually leading to women's self-destruction.
What's wrong? What is it?
How I love being a woman.
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning. And then you transition and you're just a guy.
How many videos like this, how many cases like this do we need to see for people to see how toxic and disgusting this whole gender ideology is? To see how toxic and disgusting feminism really and truly is? To tell women they need to be more like men? To delude people's minds so much to the point where they think that they were born into the wrong body? That they have to go and get mutilated to change their body in order to feel some kind of happiness? And even when they get there, oftentimes they don't feel that happiness. Society is broken.
Walking down the street, that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build.
She's basically dipping a toe in the pool and crying because it's too cold, while natural-born men are either just outright drowning or just trying to keep their head above water just a little longer. It's actually not hard for men to make friends. It's a lot harder to get respect as men. And if you are an emotional transition man, you definitely won't make a lot of friends because our brains are wired differently and the experiences that we have as men are way different. Someone transitioning didn't grow up with the same diversity and struggles as men.
Barney Mack, nice to meet you.
What is it?
I have a Comedy Central, a half-hour special, and I'm also the voice of Lenny on the Cartoon Network, Joy Tab.
All right, well, let me write all this down.
Okay. Thanks, bro. Can I get some change for that?
Do what you do. Quit picking pussy hairs out of your tongue.
So this comedian thought the only reason why people aren't laughing at her jokes is because she is a woman. So she wore a costume and pretended to be a man. Let's see how her performance went.
Ladies and gentlemen, come ahead.
I love animals. I would never buy any product that had been tested on animals. Never, because I like to do that myself at home. Make sure the control group is isolated. You don't know what they're doing in these labs. Very loose guidelines. This lady wants me. I can totally tell. I know I'm weird. I'm a weird dude.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I used to always carry a man purse, a merce. You ever carry one of those?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
A merce. I loved it. I loved that merce. But I was losing it. I'd lose it everywhere. I was always leaving my merce around. You know, I kept losing my merce. But I just started carrying everything, my person, my pants. I only lost my pants a couple of times. So that's really working out. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Good night.
So instead of just accepting the fact that she's not funny, she tried to make it about gender and say, oh, it's because I'm a woman that people don't find me funny. No, you're just not funny. Oh, that was horrific.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It was good. Didn't you see me laughing?
I know, but I felt like you were laughing at me.
I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at your jokes.
At least she's not actually a man, right? Because a man would have to walk out of here alone and go and deal with this by himself and, you know, just suck it up and get on with it. But she's a woman, so she can cry and get sympathy and it'll probably all be okay in the morning.
And how you had that was good. I'm telling you, that was good. No, that was good. Don't be upset.
I just shouldn't be a comic.
No, listen.
Because
I'm telling
I can't do it as a man. I can't do it as a woman.
You were.
No, you can't. And sometimes it's okay to fail in order that we can grow. You can find something else that you're good at and that you're passionate about. You gave it a good go. You're not funny. That's okay. There's other avenues in life. It's not the end. Why is this guy simping and reinforcing this terrible behavior?
Great. You were great. You're great as a woman. You're better as a woman.
Somebody's gonna come out here and see like some dude fucking crying his eyes out.
No, I'm telling you, you were great. Listen to me. I'm serious.
Just,
like I was.
I don't even care about this stupid documentary.
I'm telling you.
I think it's for their own personal validation.
They did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces, and they told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror. The women saw themselves with these scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal selves. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination. Indeed, many of
Perceived discrimination. That's really, really interesting.
them came back with comments that the interviewer had made that they felt were referencing their facial disfigurements.
That is so, so important because how many women are going into jobs with this perceived discrimination that, oh, because I'm a woman, instead of just sort of realizing perhaps I'm not as competent as someone else. They say, oh, because I'm a woman, and then they'll come away and say they faced all this discrimination when really the discrimination isn't even there at all. That is a really fascinating piece of information right there, and it really doesn't surprise me at all. I think we would see similar things with all sorts of discrimination. It's how you perceive that you're being picked up by other people, which is often subconsciously driven by a lot of insecurities, whether they're actually there or not. It's all to do with the mind. That's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up on your way out, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all of my videos, and I will see you in the next one.